Hey athletes, what's going on? Brianne Showman here, physical therapist and performance coach. Get your fixed physical therapy. I want to have you guys do an assessment on yourselves. Yesterday in our workout, we did some squat holds with a med ball. Today in our warm-up, we did some standing holds and some squat holds with a heavier ball. And I saw a lot of faults when people were in these positions that really stuck out to me. When I am just kind of standing and doing holds, it enables me to look around and watch what other people around me are doing, but it also, looking around distracts me from how long I'm actually doing it. So that's why I'm able to actually, I don't want to say multitask, but that's why I'm kind of watching people. One of the reasons I'm watching people when I'm doing these. But it was pretty profound differences that I noticed of what people are doing with their positions and how impactful it can be with what we're doing on a daily basis. Whether it's in our daily lives when we're lifting and carrying things, or whether it's in our races when we're lifting and carrying things, moving objects, that sort of thing. So that's what I wanted to demonstrate with you guys today. Show you what I was noticing when I was watching these athletes, and then you can kind of take an assessment of yourself to see, are you doing this when you are doing any sort of lifting or carrying task? And like I said, this could be simply lifting a box or your child, or this could be at the gym lifting a sandbag, in a race lifting an Atlas ball, bucket carry, barbell, farmer's carry, like whatever it is. This plays a big role in everything we do. So first off, I'm going to show you a standing hold and kind of the process of getting it up, these faults that I see, and then what I'm seeing when people are standing. So what I'm finding is when people are bending down to lift something up, ultimately, anytime we lift, we want to be able to set our backs, especially when it's something heavy, meaning we want a good neutral spine. Instead, what I'm seeing though is people are bending down, instead of setting their backs, we're getting this rounded position. And then, so if it's anything heavy that might strain you, you're putting yourself at risk of injury right there. Plus, it's just bad habits to get into. But the more important part is when we're actually holding it. So coming off the ground, when you're holding it, when you're carrying anything, we want a good neutral spine position, meaning the back's nice and upright, your glutes are tight. This is what's holding you upright for the most part. A lot of people, with what I saw today, they were standing like this. Their backs really arched, really supporting that weight. So what that's doing long term is putting a lot of strain on the spine. For short term, for lightweight, yeah, you're fine. But it's the habit part is the issue. If we are standing like this and that we think that's normal, that means we're doing that in everyday life when we're lifting things, carrying things, holding things. Over long term, we're going to strain things. If you haven't already because of this habit, it's not a matter of if you are, it is a matter of when. Just because when, actually it bothered my back just doing that for that short period of time because my body's not used to it. But when we are constantly doing that, we're constantly putting tension through spinal muscles that don't need that tension, and we're training bad patterns. So long-term, over a span of years, we're going to cause issues, which means you won't be racing as long, you won't be training as long, because you're going to continually become injured if you don't correct that. Now, the other thing I'm finding when we're in the bottom of that squat position, so once you get that, your object up, if you're holding something in the bottom of a squat, so maybe you're bending down with a child, maybe you're just having to help support something while you're working on something around the house. What I was finding was rather than staying nice and upright for that torso is we're getting a lot of this bending forward and hanging out here in this very unsupported, unsteady position. So same thing, in that position, we're losing our power. So if we are training our bodies to be in that position when lifting, we're losing power anytime we lift. So we're losing power when we're lifting something from the ground. We're losing power when we're lifting a barbell. when we're lifting a child, whatever it is, we're losing a lot of power there. So our performance decreases. Same thing as when we're holding our backs in this overextended position. When we're down there with our torso forward, the only way to get out of it is to extend through that spine. Once again, over long term, we're going to cause increased strain to our backs, which decreases the time, our longevity with our training, with our racing. So something for you guys to think about, whether it's life and you want a good quality of life for years, whether it's racing and you want to be able to race for decades to come. Start doing assessments on yourself, whether you have to have someone take a video of you, video yourself. Start assessing what you're doing with these movements. Figure out if you are doing them properly with good neutral spine position, or if you are arching your back or slouching forward, something forward in those positions. If you are, it's definitely something that we need to address. So if it's something that you're noticing, if it's something that's causing strain to your back, or you know you do but don't know how to correct, let's hop on a call. I would love to talk to you to figure out what we can do to work together in order to solve this problem and help you to be able to train and perform at your peak potential. So have an awesome Wednesday, guys. I'll talk to you later.